This is show 70 of the Cloth Diaper Podcast, and today I am joined with Jenn, who is at Sweet Cloth Bums on Instagram, to chat about flat diapers. Welcome back to the Cloth Diaper Podcast, the somewhat regular show where we chat about cloth diapering. This show usually comes out every 2 weeks, but I have a little bit of a backlog, so we are pumping out a lot of great content related to flat diapering, flats and cloth diapers, and more during the month of June. Do expect us to go back to our every other week programming in July and August as we enjoy summertime. I hope that you find some time to enjoy summer. I know as a Canadian who rarely gets any sunshine, that I find myself kind of distracted during the summer months and a little bit less active online and social media. I think that's perfectly fine. My name is Bailey. I am the host of the Cloth Diaper Podcast, cloth diaper educator, and author of Cloth Diapers, Washing, Textiles of Cloth Diapers, Textiles, The Ultimate Guide to Textiles, Washing, and More. I don't even know the name of my own book sometimes. That's because I get them all mixed up. But you can get my book on Amazon as well as through global distributors around the world. It's of 260 some pages of color, breaking down the super basics to cloth diapering. I have some really great projects coming out in the future, some collaborative projects that I hope will continue to expand on the resources available for cloth diaper parents and cloth diapering. I'm really honored today to have Jenn on the show. She is a tremendous resource in the cloth diaper community. I booked this podcast with her. It was just kind of like this back and forth email thing, and we didn't really swap usernames. It was just a random email, and halfway through the show, you're going to realize that I recognize who she is. And a little bit fangirl. I think that Sweet Cloth Bums puts together some incredible content online, and I'm so glad to have her on the show. This show is a little bit more flats oriented. It was more designed for that flats challenge, which happened back in May, and I am tardy on delivering content, but that's okay. Flats is evergreen. We can talk about flat diapers all year round, and if you're looking for more information about the accessibility and affordability of cloth diapering, check out the hashtag Flats Challenge, because there was so much great content put out there by Instagram, Facebook, bloggers, YouTubers about how to use cloth diapers, and some of these really tough, difficult conversations that we're continuing to have. So let's go into this conversation. It's another short 20-something little podcast, which is just perfect. A little brief elevator spiel. Who are you? Where in the world are you joining me from?
My name's Jenn. I'm an American, but Currently I'm living in the United Kingdom. So I live outside London. Yeah, and I started cloth diapering because mainly for environmental reasons, and also because I thought it would be a good way to save money. Although I have to be honest, I haven't actually saved that much money. But mainly for environmental reasons. So I'm just the mom. I have a daughter. She's 18 months old now. I didn't think I'd have kids, but here we are, and I can't believe how amazing she is. It sounds crazy, but she's pretty amazing.
She's 18 months.
She's 18 months now.
That's a really fun age, I think, too. It's like they have a little more personality, but not too much. I have a 5-year-old, and it's a lot of attitude.
I think, you know what also is, because I'm a first-time mom as well, and then you have like this COVID thing going on. One thing I will say is that like cloth diapering also became like a big part of like my world, because like I said, I'm from the US, so my family wasn't around here. And just like talking to other moms and seeing what they're doing and like trying out new stuff, it really helped like maintain a connection when, you know, you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't see anybody, and everybody was worried about catching the virus. And we're still just now opening up. So we weren't allowed to go into anybody's house. Mm-hmm. And they're just now about to start opening up, I think this coming week. So, so I just like, I guess because of that, because I had a new baby, I like really got into like cloth diapering and everything about it. And so I started an Instagram for it and joined like every Facebook community I could find. Like just to like talk to other
digital.
parents. Yeah, like I used to go to the baby classes, but they all got shut down. So like my Instagram, it's Sweet Cloth Bums, and
hey! Now I know who you are.
Yeah, hi.
That's the life in which you only know people's handles. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, hello. Okay. Fills in a lot of I know we've talked on Messenger before. This is really awkward and embarrassing. I talked to a lot of people, but I only know names, usernames. I don't know.
Yeah. I know, it's the same for me. And then sometimes I like get confused, like, is this their child's name or is it their name?
Well, and if there's too many like cloth diaper mom variations, I also get confused and I don't know who is who. But yes, Sweet Cloth Bum on Instagram. Okay, so you do a lot of cloth diapering, and you started off, you said that you don't think you've really saved money, but we're also joining to talk about flats, which those two sentences don't make sense to me. So
no, okay. So the thing is, so when I started cloth diapering, I was using I think the first thing that I got was pre-folds and wraps, and then I started using two-parters. And the thing was, so I fell into like starting to use flats like more like a couple months in, I think, because the thing was I was really scared of a snappy. Like I was like, I am going to nick my baby. I'm going to nick myself. Like, I don't know how this works. And I think it was like, and then I just started watching loads of like YouTube videos, and it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. And I never, when I first started cloth diapering, like I didn't really see myself as, using flats because I just thought, that would be a lot more work. But I really liked it. Like I was like, I'm going to buy one because, like people are using it and I want to try it out. And like, honestly, like now, like my husband, he'll do a terry. Like if I set it up for him, he'll do a terry, but, and he can use like, a snappy, but, I do have like other stuff for like other people, and she goes to nursery as well. So, we send something different to nursery.
It's funny. I find that this conversation, like where's my thought? I find this conversation a little hilarious because this morning I was on the phone with Sarah Hillis, who is helping me out with the Flats Challenge. We were talking about the social media plan. Like, so we're putting together a social media strategy coming up to Flats Challenge. And she also said like the same thing, like thought flats were super intimidating and like definitely wasn't going to happen. And here she is using flats predominantly now. And it's like they have such a bad marketing. That's why I threw this question. It was like marketing challenge for flats, because I had just had that conversation with Sarah. It's like, how do you, like, people are terrified of them. We all have this moment where we're like researching cloth diapers and we totally brush them off completely. And then we try them like 3 months in and we're like, this is way easier than all those other two-piece systems and snaps and hooks and things that we do to make diapers. So it's just like, man, have you thought of a way in your life like to make flats seem less scary to newbies?
I think one of the things that made me try it, I think, was like flats challenges, like, and doing them and seeing like people do different folds. And I know in the UK they have like February with the nappy lady. I was just thinking there was that. Yeah. So she'll, then people will do like terry folding. And so I think like that kind of stuff like made me think, oh, okay, well, I'll try it out. And the thing that's so great about them is that they're like really cheap. Like if you can buy them just one, like they usually come in packs of 6 or 12, but you can, some places where you can just buy one and you can say, okay, well, I'll try it out. And, if I don't like it, then I've only spent, like a couple dollars or something.
Yeah. And it's a kitchen towel.
Yeah, and it's kitchen towel, or like if my baby got a rash or something, or just want some nappy free time, then they're great to just like put down and have her sit on, and then I'm not like worried about like.
No, they're super adaptable to like every situation. I use flats a lot at the park as sunshades. On the stroller or as a mat when you need it. The UK Terry, though, is a very different product. That's not really in the North American space. My understanding is it's pretty much like a bath towel material.
It is. It's exactly like that.
What size is it, though? Like, what's the dimension square?
So there are like 3 different sizes. So there's, for like newborns, will be like 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters. And then there's
that's like really big.
Yeah, but you would fold it, obviously, and you can. That's the other thing.
I was confused because as a Canadian, I know centimeters, but I was also thinking about American inches, and that.
Okay, so inches, I think like 20. I want to say 27 by 27 is a 70 by 70.
Okay, yeah. So I was thinking about the 27-inch flat, and then I heard 50 centimeter, and I didn't process it, and I was like, "That's massive." Yeah. But you're right. The 50 centimeters is it's like a foot and a half, so it's like 15 by 15 inches or something. Okay, so it is like the size of a traditional bird's eye flat that Americans would use. Oh, okay.
So like I have some like petite crown ones, and they're like 70, and I would say the 70 is like the bigger size. But I like them because when you use like the bigger sizes, you get much bigger wings, which I happen to find is easier to get over the hips,
especially at 18 months.
Yeah. Oh, and she does not sit still, so that's fun.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not fun. So what does your stash look like today? What kind of flats are you using, and what are you putting over them?
Okay, so during the day, I will use like a bird's eye flat. Mm-hmm. And I'll either do 2 things. So I use a lot of like the petite crown swims. So I'll like pad fold them and put them in, or I'll make a diaper out of them. So some of the folds I use the kite fold and the Pikmin fold.
Well, those are good folds.
Probably the most. And then for nighttime, we use Terry. So right now she's in a Terry, and she has a petite crown catcher. And I use the catchers, the keepers, and I also use the airflows, like Mother E's airflows. I quite like as well. Because they're side snapping, so sometimes I can snap them and pull them up.
Are they still making them?
I think they still make the airflows. Yeah.
I saw they had discontinued a few things. I have an airflow, and it's a bit of a
bamboo. I know
it's a bit of a bulkier diaper, but it is that side snap. Oh yeah, they are still making them. I find it's bulkier. It's probably great on a Terry, but it's fantastic. It's so easy to use, and it's so lightweight, and it like gives a beautiful shape despite the bulk.
Yeah, well, I find it like it's super easy to snap when you're like having to chase her as she's like crawling away from you.
Yeah, that's probably why I love it.
Like they're on the sides.
Yeah, because I got one about the time my child was about your child's age, and I loved it too. Yeah. Like you could do it up and down. Really, they should make more diapers with side snaps.
Yeah, I think I have seen like a couple more like brands like coming out with that, and like stuff that are like pull-up trainers that you can also use as diapers, because I do find like it is a really hard age to like.
So how are you?
Like if you pad fold.
How are you convincing her to put on a Pikmin fold then?
Okay, so I pre-fold them. That's one thing. The other thing is I have a TV above my bed.
Like in the room? In the ceiling?
In the room. It's like, it's on the wall. So sometimes I can put like some cartoons on. And then I just have like everything set up. The thing is, be prepared. Like, so everything's like set up, ready to go. And then I can usually get it on pretty fast. And you like the thing is, if you start when they're younger, you get a lot quicker at snapping it. So, so that's helpful. So I started, using things when she couldn't really move so much. So, that I found really helpful. And, everything's laid out, ready to go. I have the diaper open. I have the snappy laid to the side, the wraps open, and I just like
go.
Just go. Or like sometimes I try to give her a toy. So she'll sit there for like, maybe if I'm good, maybe a minute before she'll try to roll. If the TV's not on. If the TV's on, she might sit for 3 minutes. So enough time to get the terry or the flat.
And then do you use snappies? Is that your primary?
Yeah. So I have never actually used like a safety pin or anything. But yeah, so I use the snappy.
Safety pins they're not as scary, but at 18 months, like as the kids get older, they definitely become more difficult to use. Because they just, I'm not very quick at it. No matter how many times you practice, like a safety pin is just like.
Yeah, I've never actually, I have to admit, I have never actually tried with safety pins. So I've always had snappies, and I've gotten quite fast with that. So
you're using
that's
a little bit of a mixed flat stash. You got some Mother Ease, you got some Petite Crown, you got a little bit of everything. And so what does your wash experience look like? And did using flats make that easier or harder?
So it's so much easier, and I'll tell you why. Because so I grew up in North America and everybody has a dryer, right? But in the UK, a lot of people don't have dryers. So I just recently got one. Mainly because my mom came here and she was like, this is ridiculous. Like, you have cloth wipes everywhere. Like and when I first started diapering, when she was very young, I think we started at like six weeks. I had fitteds and wraps. So they took forever to dry. Like, we also have pre-folds too. But I was new to and I was recovering and everything. And again, I was still scared of the snappy. So, and my pre-folds, I think I got the wrong size, and they were like really huge. And she was like 6 pounds. So they didn't fit. So I had like these, so I had some fitteds that I was using, but they took, honestly, it was like 2 days to dry. And then we always use like reusable wipes as well. So I had all those, and I was just hanging them up around the house.
Kind of find you mentioned there, like you said, it's not common for a dryer, and it's just, but there's also so many UK brands that are like these thick pads or these fitted diapers or these complex all-in-one.
Everybody hangs them up, which I have been doing. Like, I will do that. Like, I do still hang everything up, but that was the thing about flats, is that they dry so much faster. They wash so much better. Like, in my opinion, like having had other, because I tried like a little bit of everything, and
they wash so much better.
Yeah.
They dry so quickly.
They dry so much faster. Yeah. And then the other thing is that if you have them, and if you get like a wrap, like if you get a catcher wrap or something like that, you could just wipe it down, reuse it. So you even need less of those. So like if you're going somewhere, not that I'm going anywhere because of COVID at the minute, but it like Margaret, and she flew with flats. Flats were part of her flying stash. I would too. Yeah. We, last summer we went when we had like a lull in the, in the lockdown, we went and I packed my flats. And actually, what's funny is that I think I only packed 2 wraps because I miscounted. So I was literally washing 1 wrap in the sink and like drying it and then reusing the other one. So I would like have 1 for nighttime and like 1 for daytime. Yeah. And I got away with it because I'm lucky in that my daughter, she normally poos in a little potty. So and I remember thinking, I can't believe it. I can't believe I only packed 2 wraps. Like, and I had loads of flats.
Of course.
But just like 2 wraps. And I was like, I knew I was going to like miscount something. But it worked out.
My child is he was a little bit of a pooper. So we definitely went through a lot of wraps because people, I often see this question in like the buy and sell or the chat groups. They'll often be like, how do you guys not get poop on? Like, that's just kind of what happens. Even the best folder will sometimes have like a flat fold is not the seal of an elastic. That's why you've got your elastic cover. We would go through a lot, but luckily you just kind of wash up the wrap and then it dries really quick or quicker than a full complex diaper. So,
yeah. And I found too, so like, when she was breastfeeding and stuff, I was like jelly rolling everything, like into the sides and like, trying to, but sometimes there's just like with that breastfeeding poo, there's no containing it sometimes. I mean, it contains inside the wrap, but like you're right. If you don't have that elastics in there, sometimes it can escape, and
that's fine.
Yeah.
Just wash it. You wash it. I was thinking, I had a interview with a mom from the Maldives, and I had to describe what a dryer was to her. So access to drying machines is definitely a unique world, it seems like, for North Americans.
I know. I did. It wasn't something I had thought about, but I definitely noticed. So I've been in the UK on and off like a couple years, and this is like the first time I've had a dryer is like after my mom came, and she was like, okay, for Christmas.
Girl, you sound like you have a little bit of a British twang in you already.
Oh, yeah, my family says the same thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong anymore.
And you've picked up so many of the words. You don't have a lot of the verbiage of American verbiage. The language of the dictionary that I hear, words are a little bit different.
Yeah, you just get assimilated.
For you to say that you've only been there. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, I spent 2 years in the States and picked up enough lingo. It's fine.
I find that you do get it like really quickly. Like, cause I grew up in Virginia, and then I went to school in Georgia, and I was like, y'all.
Yeah, my whole roommates were all from Texas. Like, yeah, you pick up a little bit of the y'all. It's pretty cool.
And then I went to California, so yes, you just take it like as it comes.
Are flats in the UK an affordable cloth diapering choice for families?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's really good. So I think, to be honest, if I had to do it over again, I would have been less scared of like trying it out, because I think it's really good, especially for like babies with different shapes. Because when you buy like a pocket or something, like it doesn't always fit like the baby shape.
Mm-mm.
But with like a flat or something like that, it does fit really well. And I think that's the thing. It's like,
especially newborns.
Yeah, especially like newborns using a muslin or something like that. Like, the fact that you can get it, and you know, when you are trying out different brands, they're much more expensive than trying out, say, a Bird's Eye cotton flat or, a terry. Like, there's such cheap options that I really think that everybody should at least try it once to see if they actually like it, because you might be surprised. I know I was surprised. And number two, if you
it seems to be the consensus.
And if you do like it, you just saved yourself so much money instead of like trying all these other like things that you may or may not like, or may fit your baby or may not, and then you have to resell them. And I think, like I said, like, you try it and you don't like it, you can use it as a towel. Like, it's a perfect size for a newborn towel. Like, if, so I think it's very economical, and it's probably the cheapest way, I think, to cloth diaper, if I'm honest.
Googling what the cost of a flat was in the UK to see if it was comparable. Yeah, it's about the same.
I think it's like £2 or something. £2. If you buy it singly.
Yeah, that's about $4 Canadian. That's what you would expect in Canada too. They're like $3 to $5. They're super, and even then we'll have so many great content coming up to the Flats Challenge. You don't have to buy everything new, and you can repurpose things. But even if you want to buy things, I know a lot of families get a lot of picky. They're like, not picky is not the right word. They get concerned about used things, and that can be such a great way to enter cloth diapering.
Well, the other thing is like with flats as well is that you can really wash them, like they're really durable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get it and you're like, okay, well, I'm not comfortable not washing this on the hottest setting. Like you can do that. Like you can like throw those cottons in on a 90-degree wash and it's okay, you know, whereas you can't do that if you buy an all-in-one secondhand. Like you have to sanitize it some other way. So
they're super forgiving.
Honestly,
they're so forgiving. You can like abuse them. You can wash them. You can wash them really gently. You can wash them really harshly. And they usually always come out. And that's one of the real beauties that people are going to discover during the Flats Challenge. So I think we've did you have anything else you wanted to add about your Flats experience?
No, I mean, like I said before, it was not something that I would have thought that I would have liked, and I was pleasantly surprised. So I guess what I would say is if you are listening to this and you think flats are not for you, just try it. Just try it once and see how you get on. And if you don't like it, that's okay. You can still use it as a towel or like as a changing mat or whatever. Like it's
one of the cheapest things you're going to buy.
Yeah.
In your entire baby experience.
And if you don't like it, you're not out like, $20 or something. Like it's
No.
So I guess that's all that I would say. Like definitely try it out.
Yeah. All right. So the nice thing about chatting with Jenn here today is that we can find her on Instagram, Sweet Cloth Bums. And I just opened up your reels and you have a ton of great folds and a ton of great videos that can help people out looking for ideas about cloth diapering to make it easier. Even though you're in the UK, we're all still talking the same thing.
Yes.
And it's so cool to see all the different brands. I love how you included. I love how UK moms, you guys do these flat lays so well.
Oh, I love a flat lay.
I just can't. As I'm looking at this recent one with the apple cheeks, I just don't have that kind of visual. I mean, I watched a lot of Art Attack as a child, but I still can't do it. You have a fantastic feat.
You should try it.
I could probably do it.
Yeah, try it.
I feel like I need... it's probably not as stressful as it looks.
No.
And I have all these things. I have these rainbows. I have these Hertzer animals. Like, I really don't have any excuse. And my kids are in daycare right now. Thank you for joining me. I didn't realize that you were joining from across the pond, and I didn't realize that you were Sweet Cloth Bums. And thanks for answering my email this morning.
No problem.
And I will see you on the internet, Jenn. Finally, we talked about flat diapers. I feel like I've been trying to get you a show about flat diapers for the longest time, and I did record this show with Jenn back in April, but I finally got it edited and finally got it up for you. As an independent podcaster without a big office, without a big staff, and just a little bit of revenue, the Cloth Diaper Podcast is all done by and managed by me. It is just this operation. Some podcasts have big teams behind them and some of them don't. That's why the editing quality is always iffy, and that's why sometimes we go 6 to 8 weeks without a podcast. If you'd like to continue to support the Cloth Diaper Podcast, continue to recommend my show to those that you know, recommend my book, merchandise, or other opportunities to support me. The Cloth Diaper Podcast is totally on a budget. We sometimes pull funds out of different pockets, and it's through advertising, affiliate sales, and book sales that we keep this up and going. I'm really excited because this summer I'm going to be working on some projects with some other creators to create both free and paid for content that can help encourage others to cloth diaper. And I think that's about it. Besides the fact that you can always email me at clothdiaperpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to be on the show or if you want to write your story out, you can also send me an email there. I'm always looking for new guests. I believe that every story is valid and you can never have too many duplicate stories. So if you think you don't have anything new to add to the story, I would say you are wrong, my dear. Your story is valid and worthy, and I would love to talk to you. So until next time, and until my next show where we have some great impact stories from other creators, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.